It's an odd position to be in, having once had this large family, something so significant. She sat there, clearly trembling, her voice full of emotion as she said, "I just don't feel safe around him." That single moment, Gwen Brown calling out her father on national TV, wasn't merely a family spat. It was a raw, unscripted explosion of long-held silence, control, and suppressed anguish. For those of us who followed Sister Wives for over 10 years, it was the breaking point. The moment the illusion of Brown family unity fully shattered. Hello, friends! If you're shocked, devastated, or simply baffled by the recent chaos in the Brown family, trust me, you're not alone. Please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share your honest opinions in the comments. I really want to know what you think about all that we're about to unravel, because what we're seeing now from Kody Brown isn't just a new hairstyle or a wider grin. It's something much deeper. It's a total public-facing reinvention. But instead of looking like healing, it looks like he's trying to prove something. To who, exactly? That's what we're breaking down today. We'll trace Kody's path from heartbreak to high-end property, from being the core of a plural marriage to standing nearly solo. This isn't just your typical midlife meltdown, it's a full-on desperate bid to cling to control over a family that's already slipping away. And the worst part, it's all unfolding right in front of the cameras, and his children aren't staying quiet anymore. Can you believe how far Kody Brown has fallen? From being the so-called head of a plural household with 4 wives and 18 kids, he's now settled into a monogamous life with only one. For years, Kody acted like the sun in the Brown family's orbit. Every choice, every feeling, every family meeting revolved around him. But as Sister Wives progressed, the flaws began showing, and eventually, the whole thing collapsed. Christine was the first to walk away, and honestly, it felt like watching a dam finally burst. Her leaving wasn't only about a broken relationship, it stemmed from years of being overlooked, dismissed, and emotionally neglected. That scene where she packed his things and left them in the garage, that wasn't petty. It was a statement. Christine decided to take her life back, and in doing so, she kicked off a domino effect. Soon after, Janelle exited too. But for her, the split wasn't merely romantic. It was about reclaiming dignity, independence, and not letting herself be steamrolled anymore. Think back to their COVID-19 arguments. Kody demanded total authority, even if it meant shutting his own sons out of their home. Janelle stood her ground. And he didn't appreciate that. Not at all. Then came Mary, the one who waited, the one who stayed the longest, even through emotional rejection and the fallout of the catfishing scandal. But eventually, even she reached her breaking point and said, "No more." And what did Kody do in response? Instead of reflecting on his own faults, he broadcast bitterness. On camera, he pointed fingers, blaming his wives for betrayal, accusing them of destroying the family and turning the kids against him. Not once did we hear him say, "Maybe I let them down too." Kody, once the man with 3 wives and a dream, is now left with just Robyn and a pile of resentment he can barely conceal. Something in Kody Brown shifted, not just emotionally, but physically too. Around the time his family began to unravel, viewers noticed another change happening on screen. His appearance. Gone were the messy curls and aging grin. In their place, bright, straightened teeth that gleamed on camera. Reddit fans quickly picked up on it, with one user even comparing his new smile to a pageant flipper. Yikes. But let's be real. People weren't only commenting on his teeth. They were questioning what exactly Kody was trying to prove. And it wasn't limited to cosmetic dentistry. Kody began appearing in cameos and episodes with neater grooming, a sharper style, and a vibe. A vibe that shouted, "I'm doing great. I'm thriving." But thriving for whom? Because if you're actually paying attention to the conversations happening on Sister Wives, he's anything but. Let's talk finances, too. Not long after Christine walked, Kody made some major money moves. He sold off key real estate, including the once promised Coyote Pass land, the site once envisioned as the family's forever home. Just like that, it was gone. And then, he purchased a nearly $2 million home with Robyn. A bold choice, especially given 3 of his wives had just left him. So is this a glow-up, or a perfectly staged act meant to convince the world, and maybe more so his exes, that he's still on top? the fans aren't buying it. Screenshots from Kody's cameo appearances began circulating online, showing off his updated image, with reactions ranging from amused to straight up uneasy. Some viewers said he looked like he was trying way too hard, while others guessed he was doing all this just to get back at Christine, or maybe even tempt Mary into returning. What's clear is that this transformation isn't only about looks. It's Kody's attempt to rewrite the narrative about who's really coming out on top. Now that the dust is settling, Kody may be flashing a camera-ready smile and enjoying life in a luxury home, but underneath all that, his moves feel intentional, emotional even. Look closer, and it all begins to seem less like self-growth and more like a sequence of calculated actions, meant to get a rise out of the women who left him. It's not merely a new chapter, it's a chess match. Let's begin with Christine. Ever since she left, Kody hasn't stopped bringing her up. Even when claiming he's over her, like in the Sister Wives Season 18 tell-all, he lashed out, saying Christine and her new husband David revolve their lives around him and Robin. The irony? Christine barely brings him up unless someone asks. But Kody's constant jabs, doubting her intentions or hinting she's obsessed with him, suggests something deeper. It feels like he's trying to act indifferent, while still clearly shaken by how quickly she moved forward and found actual happiness. With Janelle, the energy shifts. It becomes about control and frustration. Their pandemic disagreements, especially about their sons, revealed how unwilling Kody was to meet her halfway or honor her boundaries. Janelle wanted equality and autonomy. Kody demanded loyalty on his terms. In the tell-all, Janelle didn't sugarcoat it. She said Kody acted like the villain to protect Robin from taking any heat. When she walked out, she wasn't just ending a marriage. She was rejecting the fantasy that Kody still held any power. And then there's Mary, the wife he once admitted he had no romantic connection with. But when she finally moved to Utah, Kody cried. His emotional breakdown felt mixed, like part of him wanted her to stay, not out of love, but to keep the illusion of plural marriage alive. Now that she's single again, some fans wonder if Kody's glow-up is partially aimed at her too. Each move, every real estate deal, every cameo clip, every pointed comment on TV feels stitched together by one goal. Not to win his wives back, but to make them feel like they lost something when they left him. And then there's Gwendlyn, Christine's daughter, and honestly, the voice so many of us have been waiting to hear. While a few of Kody's older kids have stayed quiet, Gwendlyn hasn't held back. Both on Sister Wives and across her own social media and YouTube recaps, she's spoken plainly. And by doing that, she's exposed the carefully crafted image Kody tries so hard to protect. In multiple Sister Wives episodes, Gwendlyn directly questions how her dad treats her mom and how he manipulates the story being told. She highlights the favoritism, the excuses, the controlling language, and what makes her words so powerful is that she's not just observing. She lived it. She saw her mom break down. She felt what it's like to have a father who only shows up when it benefits him. And she's not afraid to say what many fans have been yelling at their screens for years. One of her most striking remarks was about Kody's emotional breakdowns. She called them performative, especially when they were aimed at Christine or used to guilt-trip the kids. Gwendlyn even implied that Kody's version of love always comes with conditions. It's raw, it's deeply personal, and it hits hard. You can sense the rift widening, especially as Gwendlyn aligns herself more with Christine. She openly supports her mom's joy with David, admires her bravery for leaving, and keeps strong ties with siblings who also feel distant from Kody. It's a quiet kind of rebellion, but one grounded in truth. Gwendlyn's honesty isn't just refreshing, it disrupts Kody's version of events. And maybe that's why it stings so much. She doesn't fear challenging the patriarch. She's unafraid to speak her truth. And by doing so, she's giving other Brown family members, especially the kids, a safe space to finally have their voices heard. So here we are, Kody Brown, living in what he calls his new life. A polished smile, a multi-million-dollar house, and a quiet home he shares solely with Robin. No Christine, no Janelle, no Mary. And perhaps most noticeable of all, hardly any presence from his adult children. That massive polygamist foundation he once stood on like a stage, it's crumbled. What remains is just one man clinging tightly to whatever fragments of control he still thinks he has. Sure, his outer transformation might fool some. It might look like he's fine, like he's flourishing. But if you've been watching the show, if you've truly listened to the confessions, the arguments, and the long silences, then you already know. The truth? It's far more complicated. This isn't some radiant glow-up. It's a cover-up, a deflection, a carefully structured illusion crafted to distract from just how much Kody has lost and how unwilling he's been to own any of it. Because despite all the polish, Kody hasn't shown any meaningful emotional growth. He hasn't truly sat with the discomfort of being held accountable. He hasn't genuinely tried to mend what's been broken. Instead, he's focused on reshaping the narrative, casting himself as the one abandoned, the one misunderstood, the one finally at peace. But real peace doesn't exist when half your children won't even speak to you. Peace doesn't come from pretending that the women who left are bitter or envious. And it definitely doesn't come from new teeth and property deals. So what does Kody's new life actually mean? Is it liberation, a midlife makeover? Or is it nothing but smoke and mirrors, crafted not as a sign of healing, but as a message to those who dared to walk away? Don't miss the next headline. Like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell.